Hello, and welcome back to
The Zak
and Buzz
Review. Hello, Whovians.
Oh no.
It's the disaster zone of Doctor
Okay,
Who.
so this was the finale of Doctor Who Season 1, Season 40, Season 15, whatever the heck you want to call it, or whatever it's being called now.
It's
Empire of Death, Episode 8. Oh my
giddy
god.
aunt. Yes.
That was...
The worst...
Oh my lord.
The worst ending...
Jesus.
No, I mean, I know...
I went to the cinema to watch this.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, as always...
We need to break this down.
As always, Whovian fans, the Zak and Buzz review don't jump straight on the bandwagon straight away. We like to see the feedback.
Which has been very interesting.
We like to go through all the different social media clubs we're involved with, and our own, circles of Whovian fans, and basically see what the general feedback is, and literally straight away
this has been slammed left, right, centre, backwards, forwards,
by,
horizontally and diagonal
by everybody, and it was the worst kind of finale I think you could have ever imagined.
Like, literally,
you just wouldn't have imagined it would be that pants.
I never thought I would say this, but I genuinely believe that I would have more fun watching a Jodie Whittaker episode than this.
Yeah, I think
because this was just. I had to lose IQ points to even
try and comprehend
let
this.
all these things go in this. Good grief.
So long we hope to have a classic villain, and they ruined Sutek.
They
to be honest.
literally did. They have taken the whole idea of Sutek being a god.
An Osiren. Hang on, he's an Osiren.
Well, that's the thing.
He's an alien race.
Yeah, a physical being with god-like powers. And they use technology, Osiren war missiles, service robots.
The mummies are service robots.
But no. That's cultural appropriation.
Hang on a minute. Let me think. So the Osirans bring to the Egyptians their godlike, their culture.
Yeah.
Very much like Stargate. In
yes.
Stargate,
yeah.
The aliens bring their culture to the Egyptians and any other planet that they're on. Yet this is cultural appropriation.
What a load of tripe. Good God, you literally stripped everything you could possibly like about Sutek and the Pyramids of Mars.
And then turned him into a dark, satanic Snoopy dog.
But it's fine if he looks kind of like a jackal. Jackal. That's fine. You literally stripped what was so loved about the Pyramids of Mars. And you may as well have just called it, like, it could have been the manifestation of death.
Yes.
Or anything. Yes. Insert monster here. I love Sutek as a character. Gabriel Wolf does a smashing job as voicing him.
Yeah, but that's the other thing.
But, my God!
The voice was great. The voice was Sutek. But coming out of a big CGI jackal. I mean, we needed a 10-foot tall Sutek, didn't we? In a kind of, in his form, where the voice fits.
Yeah.
The voice just emanated from this CGI jackal. It didn't fit.
Alright, so maybe we should break down the story.
Oh, can we? Is this...
First off, we had the cliffhanger. I bring Sutek's gift of death.
Yeah, I mean, like that, the first episode, brilliant.
That was pretty good.
Like we're back to being in Doctor Who again.
Again, the Ruby Sunday mum story, for me, felt very disconnected from everything, which was very unfulfilling in this episode.
There was a lot of bits in it that you didn't really need to have.
But how the Doctor escaped from Sutek's death dust.
Yes. People are dying right next to him, aren't they?
It wasn't in a clever way. He literally just ran off.
Ran off and jumped on the back of a moped.
The only... okay. The only tolerable character in these episodes seems to have been Mel.
Yeah, bless her.
She kicks ass.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I never would have thought that.
Yeah, Bonnie Langford, she's a lovely lady. Yeah. I used to bump into her once in a while on EastEnders, on the EastEnders set, and she's a lovely lady, and her character, she played it just as she always played it. And
when the Doctor got stroppy in the last episode, it was like, come on, get up.
Yes.
Let's do this.
I mean, okay, so things that kind of like left me with my jaw hitting the floor on this one was just silly things like, when Unit everybody open fire.
Oh, yeah.
And the Vlinks is opening fire. Is it Vlinks?
The Vlinks, the scanners, the Segway of machine guns.
The guy's got his little Segway. Machine guns come out. You look at the camera angle, and he's spraying bullets at the back of all the other unit personnel that are standing in front of him. How's that meant to work? Come on.
Just stupid things. Sure, the shooting was good. That was I liked the action, but just stupid things like that. The aiming was just like, you could have done better. Come on. Serious.
And anyway, let's.
But then we lose Kate Lethbridge Stewart, all the unit personnel.
Everybody's dying.
Everyone is dead. The whole world is dying.
In a Thanos Marvel blip situation.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen this in Marvel. Everybody turns to dust.
Very Marvel-esque.
Very Marvel-esque, which, again, come on.
Then the Doctor's got back to the unit tower, goes to Ruby Sunday, and they escape within a remembered TARDIS.
Remember TARDIS. Come on, Ruby! Think harder, Ruby!
Remember harder.
Yes.
Okay.
And then they get the TARDIS.
To escape.
Yes.
By which point, they materialise above the Earth. The universe is dying because of this death dust.
Yeah.
Therefore,
it was very fast moving, but it can't outrun a moped. There you go.
and then Shooty's out the TARDIS door going, life is so terrible.
Yes.
Because it's all my fault. Cry.
Hang on, what's happening with David Tennant's Doctor at this point?
Exactly. What's happened to the other TARDIS?
Yeah.
Is there a Sutek on the memory TARDIS? Is there a Sutek in the TARDIS that got malleted off to the side for David Tennant?
Yeah.
What?
This is a bit crazy. Right, okay, so what are we...
At this point, they're in the memory TARDIS, which is an interesting set, and it's obviously reused from, the Tales from the TARDIS series, which is probably a good segue into this.
So we suddenly get the Tales from the TARDIS episode, if you like.
Yeah, that's when this occurs.
That's in the timeline. That's when it occurs. Mm-hmm. And what really knocked me off on that one was he went and did the old. Oh, it all started when a tomb was being looted in Egypt, and it's like looted.
Be for freaking real.
Like the guy was meant to be a representation of one of these Victorian explorers, archaeologists back in the day. You know, same time as when they found
in a period of exploration.
A period of exploration where, just to put it into context.
Yeah.
The Egyptians themselves, grave robbers, looted and have looted those tombs for centuries upon centuries.
Yeah. And
the artefacts have gone, never to be seen again, probably melted down and everything else. These explorers, these archaeologists, which were discovering tombs like Tutankhamun's, didn't flog off everything.
No.
All went into museums
to be preserved.
And
because the people didn't want anything to do with them because they didn't care.
And they had permission at the time. And now, obviously, the time we're living in now, a lot of this stuff is being asked to be sent back to Egyptian museums and stuff, and that's fine. You know, let's do it. But the fact is, it wasn't being looted to go off and be flogged. It was being looted. No, it wasn't being looted. It was being discovered to go into museums.
To be preserved, to be looked after.
And so I kind of take umbrage at the fact that, yet again, it's let's paint this Victorian image of a Victorian gentleman like some kind of negative imperialistic kind of person, you know. It's like, come on.
It's painted... It's blooming washing over history with modern ideals.
But it's just saying...
and opinions.
This man was a looter, when it could have just said, an archaeologist discovered the tomb.
Exactly.
You know, but no, it's got to be a negative.
That has no, impact on the story saying that. It is pushing an idea, an opinion.
That was the reason it was said.
Yeah.
It was being looted by this Victorian
gentleman. Again, with the cultural appropriation stuff with the outsides. This is a sci-fi show, for goodness sake.
You keep pushing loads of stuff
Jesus.
It doesn't really push. Anyway, so we're in the memory TARDIS, and at that point, Mel's disappeared.
Yeah, in this Tales from the TARDIS episode.
Which is obviously happening in this time period.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got an intruder alert. Where's Mel?
Mel is conveniently sleeping off screen in this small room.
Yeah.
And, oh my goodness. They have butchered Pyramids of Mars in this.
Yeah.
Sure, the effects look better, but Sutek has green eyes. I will always say Sutek has green eyes.
You say they look better. I still don't like the giant jackal dog.
No.
Because that would mean that all the Osirans,
Yeah.
you know, would all be different creatures. Yeah, for one race. Yeah. Whereas being a big 10-foot tall humanoid kind of thing with a jackal's head, you know, because you assume he's taking his helmet off.
You know, the crime here is really for Tales of the TARDIS is what they edited out of Pyramids of Mars. There is bloomin'. I think Toby, our friend, said they edited out lines from the story which were just completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the hell? And they obviously got rid of the classic moment of the hand, the cushion. The cushion grab.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I know it's kind of like a funny little thing that's quirky, and it's always been
It's
there.
a thing that has been loved by the fandom.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, who's to say that Sutek hasn't got some kind of helper that is there to do this?
Maybe
this
it's part of his imprisonment.
You know,
Imagine that coming into the law. Like he was like the Hand of Horus or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, just leave it there, guys. Anyhow, back to this stupid finale.
So we reveal. Well, we get told that the only reason that the Doctor and co have been kept alive is to discover the mystery of who Ruby's mum is.
Who's Ruby's mum? For some reason, Sutek needs to know.
Because it's a mystery. Okay.
At this point, she's dead. The whole universe is dead.
We'll talk about how they discover her name. So, who she is. They get a brief flashback of the 73 yards thing from the other week's episode that was very shooty light. And we discover that the perception filter stretches out from a TARDIS 73 yards.
Right, yep.
Okay, I guess so. But that doesn't play into the story at all. But from this, that Prime Minister is revealed that genetic logs and things are mandatory in 2046.
Right.
Okay. So this is obviously from a future that hasn't happened yet.
Yep.
And how can people being killed in the then present have this mandatory thing happen to them if they're already dead to then be identified in the future?
Yeah, and also
whole one of many.
And also obviously that information no good. Davina couldn't find any information.
No,
neither could you.
No CCTV camera footage of reasonable quality. But, we find out nothing about why it snows.
Yeah, ultimately, the power that her mother has is the fact that she's a nobody. She is nobody. And everybody is a nobody.
And nobody, by the point that they found out who this person is, would have been dead by Sutek's hand.
And she's not special in any way. And what we've all been expecting, Ruby to have special powers of something, because Jinx was saying, "What is this creature? Oh,
that is wrong."
And absolutely nothing wrong.
No, completely normal.
And we don't get told why it snows.
So it's like, in all, the only reason they're kept alive is so that they can then defeat Sutek
with a bungee strap. With a bungee strap of all things. And a bungee strap that is so weak that the TARDIS door closing on it snaps it. That Sutek himself can't just go, "I'll just unhook that," because he's obviously that thick. Or I'll take my collar off that it's attached to. And also there's got to be, when the bungee strap gets snapped, then Sutek gets destroyed in the time vortex, in the time corridor,
Oh, in the time vortex,
The time vortex. So, but he's survived in that all this time before and attached himself to the
insinuation is that somehow coming from Mars to the other end of the time corridor on Earth, that somehow he is... I'm sounding like Disney here. Somehow Sutek returned. Oh my god.
But Sutek was meant to be trapped for eternity in that time corridor, which means that it's not killing him. Yet, when the bungee strap snaps, he gets destroyed, it would seem.
And considering that the insinuation is that he has spent billions, if not millions of years, or whatever, evolving into this jackal, god, death thing, he would be completely acclimatized to this.
I don't know. Yeah, but anyway,
What?
so the
And it does that itself doesn't take into account the other TARDISes with other Sutecs. Is it so far removed that, like, okay, Day of the Doctor, like 50th anniversary special. There's three, maybe even 4 TARDISes in that room, and there's a Sutec attached to each of them because they're the same TARDIS.
Yeah.
Or the fact, obviously, the Mallet with David Tennant's got a Sutec.
Yeah.
The memory TARDIS has got a Sutec.
Everybody's got a
so
Sutec.
Sutec's still fine.
Let's all have a Sutec. You know, everybody needs a Sutec. Anyway,
Sutec is a good figure.
Yeah, so yeah, but I mean, it gets confusing because you've got you know the oh man, I don't even know where to go with this because it just ends up becoming such a mishmash of
stupid,
let down nothingness.
How do they? Okay, I'll go to the big one of how they foil Sutec's plan. They drag him through the time vortex, and how do you defeat death?
That's what I was going to
They double death, and that equals life.
Yes, like 0 plus 0 equals 1.
No, it doesn't. It equals 0 because it's nothing.
It's nothing. Death plus death does not equal life. It's death. And it's death, it will always be death, and it will never change from being death. But that's okay, because the writers can write whatever they want, even if it doesn't logically make any sense.
Bullshido!
It's bullshido.
Oh my god!
I think it's about time that the old school of Doctor Who writers are just vanquished, because they're not doing it right at all, are they?
Well, unfortunately, the way it's done now is they have writing pools, and obviously you have the main showrunner, but people are hired to write the story in a writer's room.
Yeah.
However, the way it was done in Classic Who, which has proved to have endured the test of time,
it's the best recipe.
It is literally individual writers submit their work, and the best is chosen.
Exactly.
Other ones are archived and maybe brought up later.
And then you adjust the script to get your screenplay, and there you go.
Exactly.
Oh
my god.
So Ruby's mum was a letdown, really. You know,
oh no. Don't remember, her mum named her Ruby because she pointed at a freaking sign.
Oh.
What?
So Ruby's mum, bit of a letdown. End of story there. Yep. Ruby has no special powers, but for some reason makes it snow, but we don't know why.
I don't think we will. I think that has been rounded up now.
That's just going to be looked at, ignored. You know, we I mean, it's just like
Sutec, been and done.
I mean, you know, all the time he's travelled through the time vortex, all the blah blah blah, and then they can reverse it within literally the last minute of the show.
Yeah,
take him back to all the places that he'd been before to turn everything round.
I'm kind of taken back by how stupid this was.
Isn't it the Doctor can't go back to places where he's been before or something?
Yeah, but apparently some kind of joyride through time.
Time can sort everything out.
On the end of a bungee cord!
Oh. Have you ever tried one bungee cord to even just keep like one thing on the roof of your car? It ain't going to work, let alone a godlike alien being. You know?
Okay.
It's the gloves. They made it special.
Maybe I should move on to the fact that I went to the cinema to watch this.
What was this like?
I went with my friend Jack, who you've seen before.
Good old Jack.
Undoubtedly.
Hi, Jack.
The experience of going to the cinema and watching Doctor Who is something I'd never experienced before. But I would have chosen to have watched any other episode of Doctor Who other than this. Oh my god.
Well, I'm more interested in...
It was the 2 parts. There was an interval in the middle, and the best part I can honestly say about the entire experience was the cinema attendant, whatever you want to call them. What would you call them? I don't know.
Cinema attendant.
Okay. The cinema people, they brought in an inflatable Dalek to announce that there's going to be a 15-minute interval.
That's good on them.
However, we did get something extra because we went to the cinema, which was packed, I'll give it that. There was a special message from somebody after the 15-minute interval.
That somebody was?
I was theorising it was going to be Russell T Davies, but no, it was Ruby Sunday, Millie Gibson.
Okay.
And this special message, it was adjusting fan expectations for the episode to come, and it kind of niggled me a bit, and especially after watching, I'm like, wow, you really, really didn't think of this.
What was it?
It was thanking everyone for coming, and like, wow, we really love the show and everything, and you're so wonderful. But they said, you've got a lot of questions. They're all going to get answered. Then that got seconded by, well, some of them. Maybe a few.
Maybe a few.
And I'm like, you know what you're doing here.
Yeah. I've got to say about this thing about the cinema though, actually, because I've had people, other Whovian fans, saying that you've got to turn your mind off to this new Doctor Who series because it's now not written for us. It's not written for the older Whovians or the long-term Whovian fans. It's written for the new fans. It's written actually primarily for the new kids that are going to grow up with it. But
what kind of message is that sending to the kids of now today? Jesus.
What that you can fall in love and get married within one episode?
What, even beyond that?
No. But what I was going to say was, can I ask you, how many 5 to 8 year olds were at the cinema?
None.
Because what it is, the cinemas put this show on, and the cinemas across the whole of the UK got packed out with Whovian fans, which are, young adults to the older Whovian fans. The fans
should have been a celebration of the fandom. You wonderful people. What the hell?
They're killing it for us.
Literally, after the episodes have finished, it should have been round of applause, standing ovation to what we had just witnessed.
Godzilla, -1. Everybody stood up, clap, clap, clap.
That's probably a bit more niche in the UK.
No.
However,
what I'm saying is, we've been to the cinema recently where when you've got the fandom there, like the Godzilla fandom, and the movie finishes, they've stood up and had a round of applause.
Exactly.
And you think with Doctor Who, it's like, here's the big finale. This is it.
Of anything, this should have that reaction.
Exactly. And what was the reaction?
Everyone stood up and walked out.
Stunned silence.
Yeah, it was like, wow.
That's what you told me. You said they were literally left stunned silence. And what?
Not good stunned. We are talking
There was no people saying, wow.
No speculation
as people were leaving, were they going, wow, that was amazing?
No, it was just kind of like...
Was that it?
I've got to go to work tomorrow. What the hell? Oh, man.
Yeah, actually, off the social media things, the amount of people were saying it was underwhelming and was that it, and I'm never going to get that time of my life back. That's basically what the majority was,
And that is so sad.
And because we love Who, and we have wanted this to be good as much as we could.
But the writing has just been
abominable.
Abominable.
Yes, it.
Oh.
It kind of tries to lift you up.
Oh my god!
It's had very, very up and down storylines, and then you've had this underlying story which you're thinking that's going to climax to something amazing, and it just...
Well, it's the point that in episode 7 they proved that they could do something good if they tried. And episode 8 is just like...
That's it. Well, there you go.
Who cares anymore?
Which leaves really just one other thing to say before we finish off and score the finale, and that is this hoo-ha about Mrs. Flood.
Oh, okay. This is just pure fan speculation at this point because it played no part in the story at all.
Played no part. I think I got it wrong. I assumed she might have been a siren or something and just waiting. People have been speculating she's an older Clara. People have been speculating she's the Master.
People have been speculating that she is Romana now because of what she was wearing.
The outfit.
And in honest...
The Rani. They've been saying the Rani.
I had an idea that it could have been the White Guardian. That was a good vibe. Good vibe there. However...
I mean, aren't the White Guardians and the Black Guardians basically godlike entities themselves?
Yeah. I would say even beyond... Sutek,
because they control everything.
Yeah, and it's interesting because beyond this, I saw a little interview with the actress playing this character, and they don't even know.
Dobson.
Yeah, but they don't even know themselves what this character is. They're literally almost forcing this conversation with these little hints. Oh, you clever boy, and all this jazz. Yeah. But I don't even think they know themselves.
Don't say clever boy. Don't say clever boy. That's
assuming.
That's assuming. You got to get. We might not want his pronoun to be known as a boy.
Yeah.
So you can't do that. They did that. They did that with the beat the meat. You can't. Don't
bring up that travesty again.
Yeah.
Literally, go and listen to the Big Finish version of that. It is hands down far supreme.
To be honest, Doctor Who, the TV series, all they really have to do is grab some of the Big Finish stories and just put them on
Animate
screen.
them.
Just put them on screen.
Animate them like they've done the animations for the lost episodes.
Yeah.
That would hands down be the best thing Doctor Who could do right now.
That would be
because
worth
the
watching,
people that are in charge of Doctor Who, I don't even think they like Doctor Who anymore. They just want to do whatever because
it's either they don't like it or they're trying to push their own agenda on it, and
it's kind of sucking the fun out of it.
It really is. I don't want to sit here and do a negative review.
No,
like this.
we want it to be the most positive thing in the world.
I want this to be the best review that I can give over something that I've sat there and gone, wow, this is classic Who, this is new Who, but this is even better, and it's not. It's just...
It truly isn't.
I didn't think... sorry, I'm going to say this, but I thought after Jodie's lot, I didn't think it could actually bomb
so much,
and it's gone downhill even more.
Like, it had every kind of thing that could have gone right with it. It had all the ingredients that could have made it so good again.
Yep.
But it's like they don't even care.
Well,
but we care. We want to care.
We want to care.
Give us the good food that we want to enjoy.
I know so many Whovians who have now turned their back on it and said, I'm not bothered watching it anymore. We're not. We are going to watch this. We are going to come back.
Whether or not they've got a season 3 after the season 2, that is up for speculation.
We're going to come back and we're going to see how it progresses and keep our fingers crossed, because that's the kind of people we are.
Everything needs to be... We are optimistic.
We are optimistic, and so we're not going to turn our backs on it and say, that's it, no, we're not watching it again. We really want it to be something special. Yeah. So we can hope. But let's score this one.
Okay, in essence, if it continues down this route of being bad, it just enforces our love of the things we do like about the history of the show, and that's the classic stuff.
The stuff that hasn't been
the pre-Whittaker
cannibalised. It hasn't been cannibalised.
Yeah,
and the original canon hasn't been completely and utterly mushed.
Multiverse, everything is canon.
Yeah,
and it didn't even take into account all the other appearances of Sutek in the expanded media. I'm like, don't care.
I think we need to score it.
Score it, yes.
Yeah.
Let's put an end to this.
Okay. So this is either the dusts of death again.
I think I need a shot of death dust after watching this.
Or this is going to be, I'm finding it very hard on this one to even be enthusiastic. I'm going to give this a 2.
Okay.
A 2. It had some bits I enjoyed, but I just enjoyed it for those bits.
Okay.
But the story was just so much of a letdown.
Oh, okay.
Underwhelming.
I want my instant reaction to, obviously we've been relatively negative towards this in this review. However,
I find it very difficult to be positive.
However, I, in my score now, am going to compare it to the other episodes that we have watched before. Obviously, the best of the season has been the previous episode.
Yeah.
And to some extent, this has been carried by that episode.
But that's why I went low, because it was such a disappointment compared to the last one.
But then there's every other episode in the series has been pretty bad.
Yeah. Go on, hit us with it.
1.
Okay. Well, there you go, Whovian fans.
If we are completely talking utter tripe about this,
I don't think we are, because
if you disagree with us,
that's fine.
Let us know.
That's fine.
We would love to kickstart a conversation about this.
Stick in the comments. It just seems to me across the board, the majority of Whovian fans are just saying that this is absolutely pants.
Well, it's very interesting when you just look at the reviews beyond obviously the episode. Obviously, I don't want to bring up Rotten Tomatoes or just critically the difference between critical responses and audience response seems to be polar opposites. And
yeah, but it's the fan. I'm only interested in the fans' response.
Yes.
Okay, because there are
people true to the show.
There are people that are paid to write reviews,
and I dare say there are people that are paid to write positive reviews.
And if you're going to read a review in the Radio Times or on any BBC thing, it's always going to be, wow, this is really positive, because that's what they want.
This is the biggest adventure yet. No, it wasn't.
So
you're literally lying.
So for me, it's my fellow fans and the feedback I get from my fellow fans, and it is, unfortunately,
a big letdown.
Big letdown for the finale.
And I expected some kind of preview for the Christmas special.
Yep.
There was no sign of that.
No previews.
No hint. I think Miss Flood at the end.
Just the Miss
said
Mrs. Flood. Yeah.
It was mystery of that, and then it was like his greatest terror is yet to come, and I'm like, the universe
has been destroyed
yet again, and brought back to life in this space of this episode.
Yeah.
How on earth can you go bigger? You can't. You are stuck in a creative hole now.
Yeah.
The only way.
I mean, how many times can you destroy the universe?
Exactly.
You know, what was it? What was that red dusty stuff that was before?
Red dusty stuff.
Yeah, the stuff that was consuming everything, and it was the one with the episode where they surrounded the Earth. The dog people.
Oh God! And the flux.
The flux.
The flux was supposed to destroy the entire universe because of the Doctor for some reason.
So
and that got half resolved. So by the point of this episode, let's not forget that half the universe is already destroyed. So Sutek's just cleaning up the other half.
Just like Thanos.
You've had Matt Smith kickstart the universe again.
I think what it is with a lot of these stories, just to finish off, they go too big.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be all about the
universe.
universe.
Like, the end of the universe, this is an end of an era scale event.
Yep.
Like Stolen Earth Journey's End with David Tennant. That, with Davros and the Daleks, was freaking amazing.
It was. I mean, you know, the stars were going out. We were talking about the reality bomb.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and this was a progressive thing over the entire season
and
of a period of 4 seasons.
That was a good, fun story of WhO, you know? And
with stakes that you cared about.
Yes, and characters you cared about.
Yeah.
You know?
Whereas we went into this finale with like so many questions as, I don't know these things.
And
why should I care?
And nothing really got resolved at all, particularly, did it?
No.
It was like, anyway.
And all the questions were pointless.
That's it. We're going to cut it there. We can't keep going on about this.
Bungee cord. What the hell?
I hate bungee cords anyway. The best of times. Could have found something. He could have just got a nice piece of chain and molecularly changed the structure of the chain or something like that with his magic gloves.
Let's just put it straight. You could have used anything else except a bloody bungee cord.
Maybe somebody somewhere around the writer's table just thought that was humorously funny to use a bungee cord.
I didn't find it funny at all. I found it depressing.
No. Somebody's just lost out on their Christmas bonus on that one. Anyway, there we go. That's us.
There we are. I need to watch some classic Doctor Who now.
We've done.
I need to
for the season
purge my mind.
Done for season 1 of the Shooty Gatwa Rainbow Who season thing. Whatever.
If you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe to this channel and comment below any suggestions of further reviews you'd like to see.
Show me the lovin'!
No! Back!
Stop it, babes!